So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You could be sitting up on a blanket or a cushion. You could be kneeling or sitting in an easy cross-legged, whatever feels good and allows you to have a long spine. So go ahead and adjust your body so that you're sitting nice and tall and you're evenly rooted down into the earth. And then go ahead and let the eyes close. And just take a moment to let your awareness come to your breath. As if you're watching the breath come in and out of the body. If you're watching it come in through the nose and out through the nose. If you're watching it move in through the nose and down, filling up the diaphragm. I know there is a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot on our minds and in our hearts. There's a lot of that heaviness. Just for this next hour, allowing yourself to be there for yourself. Allowing yourself to be present in your breath and in your body. And using this time to really take care of yourself. Using this time to re-energize, to nourish your own soul, your body. Knowing that all of that stuff will still be there. But at least for this hour, letting it go. Letting your awareness, your breath be what holds you. Feeling the earth beneath you and letting it hold you. Feeling the support of your breath. Start to get that breath even deeper, breathing in and out through the nose with that slight constriction at the base of the throat as you create that sound, that ocean sounding breath, Ujjayi breath. That breath soothing the nervous system, allowing it to decompress a bit. Creating some space around your heart, some space in the rest of the body. And while the eyes are closed here, you might even move the jaw around. You might even take your hands and give yourself a little massage in the jaw and the neck and the shoulders and just that little bit of self-love. You might not even realize all the places that we're holding on to that tension. Stay with that long, fluid, deep breath and start to use the breath to elongate the spine, to create space, expansion. Use the exhales to root you down into the earth, feeling your sits bones root evenly left to right. Use the exhales to draw you into your midline, into that place of power, that place, your center line. So we move from that place of center. We move rooted on the earth and in our bodies and in our deepest place within ourselves. As you're breathing here and you're feeling in your body and you're feeling that foundation of the earth beneath you, take a moment to set any intentions you want to set. Let this be just for you, for this moment. What do you need in this next hour? What will nourish you? What will refuel you? Re-energize you? And then go ahead and as you inhale, really feel that spine lengthen and the back of the neck lengthen. And then take the arms and stretch them up and feel your side bodies lengthen. Spread out through your fingers. Open up through the ribs. And then as you exhale, let the palms come together and draw right down through the center line, bringing that intention right into your mind's eye, right into your heart. Pausing with the hands at the heart. The head bow forward, but keep the spine long. And then on the next exhale, let your hands come to the earth and let your whole body bow forward, walking the hands forward. Keep the sits bones anchored down, tent up onto your fingertips as you reach the fingertips long, and just let the head drop. And then use this inhale to come into the back body. Fill up the sacrum, fill up all the way along the back, into the back of the heart, into the back of the neck, right up into the base of the skull and out the crown of the head. And then from here, walk your hands out and over to the left. Take an inhale, feel your heart lengthen, and as you exhale, roll the outer shoulders down and then the right side body down, and send that right knee forward and down. Take another inhale, walk the hands a little further out from your shoulders, and then exhale, anchor that right sit bone down again. Send that right knee forward and down. Keep energy in the toes. Keep the shoulders drawing down towards the earth and the belly lifting up towards the spine. Breathe down through that whole right side. And then as you inhale, walk back up to center and roll yourself up. Get the spine nice and long. Go ahead and let the eyes come open if they haven't already. Take the hands to the outer knees. Sit back on your sits bones on that tripod between the sits bones and the tailbone. And then let your toes come to the floor. Let the heart lift and let the toes be really light on the floor and your hands are holding behind the thighs. Start to engage your belly. Zip the inner thighs together all the way up through the core, and then maybe lift your shins parallel to the floor. Spread out all 10 toes. And then keep the hands behind the thighs, but lighten the grip there so that you take a little bit more work in the belly. Lift the heart, drop the shoulders, breathe here. And then remember what leg you had in front last time. And we're going to switch. Take the opposite leg in front this time. Come into that easy cross-legged again. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, root the sits bones down and then start to walk your fingers out in front of you. Take an inhale, stretch long, side body long, back body long, and heart lengthening forward. And then exhale, melt towards the earth. Fingertips still anchoring down into the earth. Biceps wrapping up. Sits bones anchoring back. And breathing here. Just a gentle opening in the hip of that front leg. And then from here, start to walk your hands out and over towards the right. Walk the hands away from the shoulders. Take an inhale, stretch your heart towards your fingertips. And then as you exhale, wrap the shoulders down towards the floor and roll the left ribs a little bit heavier to the earth as you heavy that left knee and that left sit bone. And then again, inhale, heart long. Exhale, belly in, hold and lengthen. And feel that breath move all the way down through the left side body into the left hip. And then as you inhale, walk your hands back to center and roll yourself all the way up to seated. Again, find that tripod, sits bones and tailbones. Bring the legs together right up into Navasana. This time, maybe release the hands. If you're not quite ready to go there, hold the thighs. You can keep the toes on the floor too, so you have options. Go with what works for you. Think about lifting heart, drawing belly and drawing ribs in, and then turn the palms up as if this is an offering. Shins parallel to the floor. Active in the belly, lifted in the heart, open in the arms. Good. And then from here, draw the feet in. If they're lifted, grab onto the ankles, bring the soles of the feet together, and land in a Baddha Konasana. Now, if This position makes for a rounded spine. Send the feet further away from you so you can sit up taller, or set something underneath you so that you can sit up with a long spine. So spread all 10 toes. Take an inhale, sit up tall here, lift the heart, drop the shoulders. And then we're going to take the hands, stretch them up, inhale. Get the side body long, get the heart lifted, get the crown of the head lifted, and energize the feet towards. Take the right hand down outside the right hip, lift it onto the fingertips. And then roll the shoulder back and down and tuck the elbow in towards your hip. That's going to help the shoulder stay down. And then inhale, reach this left arm up and over to the right. Inhale, the heart lifts. Exhale, reach the arm. As you're reaching, send that left knee away. And then inhale and spin the ribs and the heart up. And then exhale, drop the shoulder again. Good, and then go ahead and let your ear drop to your shoulder also. Stretch the arm a little bit more, and then keep the ear dropping, right ear to right shoulder, and take the left arm, stretch it up. Flip the palm so it's facing away from you. Spread your fingers a lot so you're right in the webbing of the fingers. And then start to reach that active hand out and away from you. Pause when it's about in line with the shoulder, where you start to feel that stretch in the side of the neck. Re-soften the right ear to the right shoulder. And then start to lower that hand. As you reach, you lower, reach and lower. And then if there's a spot that feels particularly good, pause there. Take a breath. Let some length and some softening come into the neck and even into the jaw. And then bring the hand so it's just hovering above the floor. It's kind of at this diagonal, and tilt the chin towards your collarbone. So you're looking just in front of the shoulder. And then neutralize the chin. Reach through that left arm, set the fingertips down. Take the right hand, lift the head up to neutral. Inhale, stretch that arm. Stretch both arms, get tall again. Send the soles of the feet together and the knees out and away. And then exhale, left hand down, fingertips down, shoulder back, elbow tucks in. Inhale, reach this right arm. And exhale, reach up and over. Take another inhale, lift the heart, press into the feet, and then exhale, spin your heart open and drop your shoulders down. Breathe here. Good. And then neutralize the neck and drop the left ear to the left shoulder and drop the left shoulder out of the ear. Inhale, stretch your right arm straight up and flip the palm to face away from you. Spread and open the hands. So you're stretching through the wrist and the fingers. And then start to lower that arm until it comes about in line with the shoulder. You start to feel that stretch in the neck. Take a pause there. Keep the spine long, even though you're bending to the left. And then start to lower that arm until it comes kind of in that sweet spot for you. Take a breath. And then hovering above the floor, tilt your chin towards your collarbone. And breathe here. And then chin back to neutral, hand to the floor. Left hand helps the head up. Beautiful. Take the hands behind you now, kind of like kickstands. Lift the heart, drop the shoulders. Bring the knees together. You can actually use your hands to do that if they need some help. Separate the feet wider than the hips, and then start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. And just release out that any tension that might have happened from that Baddha Konasana. Good. And then take both knees over to the right and have the feet, the feet far enough apart so that your knee's not resting on your foot, but it's just behind it. You're gonna press into your left knee and into your right and lift up, and then stretch your arm up. So pop that hip up. You're using your arm and your knees to kickstand you. And then come back around, knees come up, left hand comes to the kickstand, knees come to the left, and inhale, right arm stretches up. So you can be a little bit more exaggerated, straightening out that leg, or you can stay on the knees. And then come back around. We're gonna do one more on each side. So come over to the right, take that left arm, stretch it, and then this time maybe stretch out your left leg and left arm so the whole side of the body is stretched. Come back around one more time to the other side. Left hand comes to kickstand. Inhale, stretch that whole right side. Beautiful. And then exhale, come to center. Land back on your sits bones. Come back to that Navasana, whichever variation works, toes on the ground or hands behind the thighs, maybe hands extended. If your hands don't want to extend, set your feet down because we're going to work obliques a little bit here. Interlace all but the index fingers. Drop the shoulders, lift the heart, take an inhale here. And then on the exhale, take the arms up and over to the right. Reach through the hands, lift through the heart, squeeze through the belly and the thighs. And you can be right here with the toes on the ground, totally fine. Inhale back through center and exhale to the other side. Really rotate the whole upper body and then inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center and exhale. Inhale back to center, separate the hands. This time cross at the ankles. You're going to roll up and over your feet and land in a tabletop. Stack the shoulders right above the wrists, stack the hips right above the knees. And from here, start to find cat-cow. So just move a little bit with the breath. And then we'll articulate that a little bit more. But for now, just move and feel. What feels good? What feels constricted? And then on the next inhale, come neutral. Bring awareness into your hands and just notice, where is the weight in your hands? Is it dumping into the wrist or is it evening out? Feel for pressing your fingertips down just like we did at the beginning when we were just on our fingertips. Press down through the padding at the base of the fingers, and that space between thumb and index, lift into the arches. Spin the biceps forward, wrap the ribs up and in and the navel in so your tailbone lengthens. And then hips are just right above the knees. Now from here, start by just tipping the tailbone up and the pelvis down. And then continue so that the belly starts to drop, but keep the low belly tone as you do this. Ribs start to drop a little bit, and then heart starts to lift, shoulders draw back, and then let the crown of the head elongate. And then other direction, exhale, start to feel your belly draw up and in, curling the tailbone, continuing up, mid-back, upper back, press into the hands and drop the chin towards, or the head towards the floor, chin towards the chest. Good. Inhale, come neutral. Now take your hands maybe a half an inch to an inch closer to your knees. So they're a little bit behind your shoulders now. Reintegrate through the hands. Inhale, let the tailbone rise again. Belly stays toned as you lift the heart and lift the crown, draw the shoulders back. And then exhale, curl the tailbone. Pull up through the belly. Press down through the hands and let the head go. So you should get a little bit bigger, deeper into that upper back here. Pause and breathe across the back of the heart here. And then inhale, come to neutral. Good. Now bring the hands back under your shoulders. So take them back forward again. Curl your toes under, firm into the core, ribs and navel up, and then you're going to lift your knees just barely off the floor, like I could slide a piece of paper under my knees. Belly in, ribs in. Yeah. Biceps spinning forward, whole hand anchoring down. So this is like a bear pose. And then we're going to start to rotate to the right with the knees, to the left with the knees. And when you come through center, you're just barely above that floor. To the right and to the left. And you should feel that side body turning on a lot here. Just rotating right and left. One more time each side. Rotate right and rotate left. Good. Come through center. Separate your knees and set them down. Good. And then take the big toes together and set your hips to your heels, your heart to the earth. Now tent up onto your fingertips and walk the fingertips forward. Spin the triceps and the biceps up. Big breath. Stretch from your tailbone to the crown of the head to the fingertips. And exhale, melt towards the earth. Good. And then inhale. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Bring the toes behind the knees, so stay wide. Stay wide with your knees. Re-firm down through the foundation in your hands. Pull up through the belly and the ribs, and then lift the knees. So they're wide, wider than your hips. Again, they're just hovering above the floor, and we're going back into that right to left. So swing them to the right, and swing them to the left. And come to the right, and you should really feel that oblique working here into the left. One more time each side, to the right, and exhale to the left. Come to center, pause, breathe, good. And then lift your hips, press them back. It's a short down dog. From this short down dog, take your heart toward your thighs and your sits bones to the sky, and you can have your knees bent if that feels better. Take your right hand over to the outer left calf. Inhale, press into your left arm, lift into the tailbone, and then exhale, use your right arm to twist you under that left armpit. And then release, set the right hand down firm into the whole hand. Take an inhale, tailbone lengthens. Left hand grabs the outer right calf and rotate under that right arm. And you're really using this left hand to pull into the calf and resist. So firm the calf into the hand as you do that. And then come back to center. Set the knees down. Big toes together, knees wide, sit back again in a wide child's pose. Breathe here. And then inhale, come all the way up to tabletop. Walk the knees under the hips, the wrists under the shoulders, biceps forward, curl the toes under, lift into a high plank this time. Okay, so biceps are spinning forward, ribs are knitting up and in, navel's lifting, tailbone's lengthening. You can always have your knees down at any point. And then find that length. Okay. Keep your feet hip distance. Keep your hands and your chest squaring to the floor, but rotate the feet to the left. And then lift your left waist up into the right and your left hip up into the right hip. Good. And then inhale back to center. And exhale to the right. Again, press the right side body up into the left. And inhale back to center. And then exhale, downward facing dog. You should be more in a down dog alignment here. Feel the hands anchor, feel the feet anchor, wrap the triceps in, lift your tailbone high, engage that low belly, lift the kneecaps, drop the heels. We're gonna rotate from here. So stay in this down dog shape, but rotate the feet to the left. So you end up on the outer edge of the left, inner edge of the right. Now press into the hands, especially that left hand, and lift your left hip up into the right and bow out the right ribs a little bit. And then as you're doing that, take the sits bones back a little bit so that right rib cage gets a nice big opening. And then inhale back to center and exhale, spin the feet to the right. Again, press that left hip up, press into your arms, and then let your sits bones lean back a bit to get into that left rib cage. And inhale to center. Look to your hands. And as you exhale, just take a nice slow walk forward. Good. Land with the feet hip distance and parallel. Soften the knees and inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Shoulders are back. And then exhale and fold in. Bend the knees a lot and let the whole upper body drape here. And you can keep your hands down or take them to rest in the elbows if that feels okay. If your hamstrings still need to open a little bit, just keep the hands down for support. And then wherever you are, let your upper body take a little sway side to side, kind of like this half circle across the top of your mat. Head stays heavy with that. Relaxed. And then land through neutral. Bend the knees a lot. Let the arms go if they're in the elbows. Pull the belly in and just roll up one vertebrae at a time. Keep the knees bent. Keep the core firm and the legs strong as you stand up. Stack the head, stack the bones, roll the shoulders back, spin the palms forward. Keep the eyes open. Take in your gaze, that focused gaze, your drishti. Reconnect with your breath, that sensation of the feet on the earth, that sensation of rooting firmly into the earth. From that strong foundation, feel yourself rising up and out, that full expansion of the breath, front, back, sides, top, bottom. Feel every exhale draw you into that midline, that center of yourself. And then bring that intention into your mind's eye and inhale, sweep the arms up. Lift the fingertips to the sky, lift the heart to the sky, maybe even tip the gaze up to the sky. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and let the heart lead you as you come into your forward fold. Hands come down to the earth or your shins, and then inhale, extend the heart forward. And exhale, plant the hands, walk it back, downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, take the right leg, reach it back and up. Keep the hips squaring here. Energize out through the ball of the foot and the toes. And then on the exhale, the right knee is going to come as high up onto that right arm as it can. Outer right arm, lift up to the shoulder, the elbow, the tricep, whatever works. Squeeze, you're strengthening that outer hip and you're working that oblique. Hold on to that, press the hands into the earth, and then inhale, stretch that leg back and up. Good. Now from here, triceps wrap in, roll the right hip on top of the left, lift your right leg even higher, and then bend the knee so that the right toes start to drop towards the left shoulder. Press into that left arm, roll that right knee back, press into the left arm again, deep breath here. And then from here, on the exhale, start to keep your knee bent, but roll the right hip down so it starts to square. Bring the knees together, and then take the knee straight out to the right and all the way around and up. In, knee to knee, out to the right, and spin it up. And then we're going to go the other way. Take the knee out to the right, bring it in, kick that foot up, out to the right, and back. So they're just a little bit more controlled circles. Good. And then kick that leg up and straight. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, the right knee comes once again to that outer right arm, but this time look to the pinky finger. Set your foot there. Let your foot be at a diagonal, and then slide that left leg back and set the knee down. Okay. Inhale, lift the heart here. Energize the toes, and then on the exhale, you're going to let that right knee drop open a little bit so you spin onto the outer edge of the right foot. Really activate those toes. So you're flexing that foot. You're wanting to engage that outer shin to support the knee. Inhale, lift the heart here. And then on the exhale, spin your heart open. Take your right hand to the thigh and drag that thigh out as you lean back. Then, from here, take that right hand back down. Set your right foot back down. And then bring the toes to point straight ahead and hug your inner right thigh into your upper right arm. Take an inhale as you lift the heart like you're going into kind of a cobra in that chest, and then exhale, start to bend the elbows. You might even come all the way onto the elbows, landing underneath the shoulders, or you might stay up on the hands. Either way, hug that knee in and breathe. Good. Walk up to the hands, set them under the shoulders. Continue walking your way back until the left knee lands over the left hip lands over the left knee and the right toes float up. So you're wide here in this half split. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold here. Just bend, lengthen. Keep the left hip over the left knee. So draw it back and then lengthen both sides of the body. Lift that right kneecap, spread the right toes. And then shift yourself forward so your right wrists land under your shoulders. Curl the left toes under. You're going straight up into three-legged dog. Right leg moves up and back. Triceps wrap in, spin the hip open again. This time flex the foot and start to drag that heel out and down. Imagine like a half moon. Half moon in that low body, down dog in the up body. Good, and then lift the leg again. Bend the knee. Look under your left armpit, stay here, circles again, or roll it over and flip it. Inhale. Stretch from the left toes to the right fingertips. Take a big inhale and exhale, let it out the mouth. Good. Bring it back around, three-legged dog. And then just set that foot down and shift yourself forward into high plank. Let the big toes touch. Keep the hands firm into the floor, chest facing the floor, and then exhale. Spin the stacked feet to the left. You can stagger them too if that feels better, and then lift left side up into right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, roll to the right. Press the right hip up into the left. And then inhale back to center. Set the knees down, shoulders back and elbows in. And as you exhale, drag the heart forward and lower it to the floor. Then extend the legs and anchor the tops of the feet down. And then inhale, extend the heart and rise up. Shoulders back and elbows tucked in. Good. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck the elbows in. Lift your navel. Press the feet. And lift the heart a little more. And then exhale. Rest to the earth. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to move through an extended child's pose. So keep the knees as they are, hip distance. Keep the arms extending forward and drag the hips to the heels. Maybe the hands drag back as your hips do, but keep that length as if you're trying to claw your way forward. But then you're heavying your hips back. Take a big inhale here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Pause and breathe in your down dog for a couple breaths. Reconnect to that fluid in and out breath. Set up through the foundation. Feel your hands and your feet. Triceps wrap in. And then inhale, take the left leg, reach it back and up. Hips gonna stay square to start with. And then on the exhale, that left knee is gonna come as high up onto the left arm as it can. Your right knee can absolutely be on the ground. Pull the belly in, lift that knee up. And then inhale. Take that leg back and up. Triceps wrap in, lift the leg high, spin the hip open. Then bend the knee. So you're dropping that left foot towards your right armpit or right shoulder. And then press the right arm in and the heart back. Good. Now we're going to come into those slow, exaggerated circles. So keep the knee bent, spin the hip down. Bring the knees towards one another, inhaling. Exhale, left knee straight out to the left. Spin it around so the foot comes up. Bring the knee together. Take it out to the side. Spin it around. Foot comes up. Now the other way. Knee out to the left. Knees come together. Foot kicks up. Other way. Knee out to the left. Comes in. Foot kicks up. Straighten out the leg. Inhale here. And then on the exhale, again, bring that left knee towards the outer left arm. Look to the pinky finger. Set your foot there. Inch your right foot back so you're really long here, and then set the knee down. Left foot's at a diagonal to the left. Start to activate your toes, so peel them off the floor, and then let the knee drop to the left and come onto the outer edge of that left foot. Anchor your right shin and top of the right foot down, and then inhale, heart lifts and shoulders drop. Right hand stays down. Let the left hand come to the left thigh as you drag that thigh out of the hip. Lean back and spin open. Breathe here. Then unwind. Left hand comes back under the left shoulder. Left toes come forward and foot comes flat. Hug that inner left thigh into your outer left arm. Inhale the heart forward. Make sure your right knee is a lot behind the hip. You can stay right here. You can start to bend the elbows, or you can set your elbows to the earth. Think Sphinx pose with the upper body and breathe into your hip here. Good. And then walk your hands up, inhaling. And as you exhale, shift that right hip back over the right knee as the left toes peel up. Rise up onto the fingertips, take an inhale, draw the heart forward, so you're really long in that spine, draw the shoulders back, and then exhale and hinge in. Keep that left kneecap drawing back, keep the right hip drawing back so it stays over the knee. It'll want to kind of pop off to the right, so we're trying to draw it back, belly in, heart forward. Then start to walk yourself forward. Hands or wrists come under the shoulders. Take an inhale, curl the right toes under, and on the exhale, that left leg goes up and back, three-legged dog. Okay, set up the hands, wrap the triceps in, lift the leg high and spin the hip open, and then flex the foot and drag the heel down. As if you're going into that half moon with the lower body. You should feel this through the whole outer hip, into the waist. And then inhale, lift that leg and bend the knee. Look under your right armpit. Stay here, circle the hip, or maybe flip it. Take an inhale, stretch from the right toes to the left fingertips. Lift your hips, open your heart. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Bring it back around, three-legged dog. Inhaling. And then exhale, set the foot down. Down dog. Inhale forward to high plank. From here, walk the big toes to touch again. Exhale, spin to the left. This time, come onto your right fingertips. Lift your left hip up into your right, and maybe take your right arm to the sky. Your knees can be down. One knee under the hip, also an option. Right hand comes down, roll to the right. Come onto your left fingertips, lift the right hip up into the left, maybe take your left arm up, maybe take your right knee down. And then exhale through high plank, knees down, shoulders back, elbows in, lower down. Okay, uncurl the toes, lengthen and anchor them. Take the hands behind you, interlace, but let the palms be wide. So as you inhale, take the heart forward and up, and as you exhale, take the wrists back and away from one another. So stretch the wrists out here. Shoulders stretching, heart stretching, wrist stretching, feet anchoring, belly lifting, heart extending forward, neck long. Breathe. Good, and then exhale here. Release the hands, let them come around to the front, make a pillow, sit your forehead there. Bend your knees and widen them, and then just windshield wiper the knees, side to side. Good, and then extend the legs. Set the hands under the shoulders. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to go to child's pose, you can go to child's pose, or come to down dog. We're going to hold for about 5 breaths total. So on the exhale, transition yourself wherever you're going to rest. Child's pose, belly, down dog. And come back to that steady rhythm of breath, in and out. Okay, make your way to down dog if you haven't already. Inhale, look forward to your hands, and at the bottom of the exhale, step, walk, or float the feet forward. Let them come hip distance and parallel again. Inhale, slide your hands up to your thighs, soften the knees, and stretch the heart forward. And then exhale, keep all of that length and drape your upper body over your thighs and let your head go. And then take your hands to your back body and interlace. This time, if you can, draw the palms together. Draw the shoulder blades together and then up away from the ears and the head down towards the floor, and then extend the arms, inhale. Okay. Then, on the exhale, bend your left knee towards your left shoulder and spin your chest to the right. So left knee to left shoulder, chest to the right, knuckles to the sky, and then send your right hip back and your right ribs out a little bit. And breathe. Keep the right kneecap lifted, so you're not hyperextending that right leg. It's active, but you're stretching through that whole right side. Head is just heavy. And then come back through center as you straighten that left leg. Start to bend into your right knee. Send your right shoulder towards your right knee. Spin your torso, your heart to the left. Send your left hip back away from your left shoulder and the ribs out of it. And breathe and let the head go. And you can absolutely do this with the hands on the ground if that feels like too much on the shoulders. Just set the hands to the floor. And then as you straighten the leg, torso comes back to center. From here, soften the knees, belly, and we're gonna reach through the knuckles to inhale, unhinge, come all the way up. Lift the heart, unwind the hands and set them to the sacrum. Palms, fingers pointing down, elbows in, shoulders back, lift your heart, maybe lift the gaze. Firm into the earth and then lift up. Good, and then from here, you can keep your hands there or maybe inhale. Stretch them up by your ears. And then exhale, belly in, come upright, set the hands to the heart and pause. This time close your eyes. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the pulsing. Feel the breath. And open the eyes and set the feet so that the big toes come touching the heels are slightly separated. On the inhale, sit down into Utkatasana, chair pose, sit the hips back and down, lift the heart, lift the arms, pull the low belly in so you feel your tailbone anchor, inner thighs scissor together. Breathe here. Long in the neck, steady in the heart. Good. And then on the exhale, set the hands to the heart. Take an inhale, lengthen the heart forward, and on the exhale, twist to the right so that the left elbow just hovers above that right knee. Inhale, tailbone back, heart and crown forward. Exhale, belly and rotate. And then anchor that left elbow outside the right knee. Equally press in. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to rotate. And then inhale and unwind. Keep the hands at the heart, lengthen. Exhale, twist over to the left. So you hover that right elbow above the left knee. Pull the belly in, send the tailbone back. Take another inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. And then anchor that elbow to the outer thigh. And find that length. And then belly in and find that rotation. Good. And then inhale and unwind. Exhale, forward fold, lift the hips, drop the upper body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. We're gonna walk back to down dog. Again, exhale, step it back. Okay. Take a moment here. Feel your hands, feel your feet. And then on the inhale, we're gonna take the right leg, reach it back and up. And on the exhale, bring the knee right into the chest, the thigh up into the ribs, and then curl the head into the knee and the belly into the spine. And then inhale, look between your thumbs. Set your foot right between your thumbs. Spin your right heel down and inhale, windmill the arms up into a warrior two. And then adjust if you need to adjust the legs, do that. So that the front heel and the back arch are lining up. And then glance down at that front foot so that the knee is tractioning over the second and third toe. You want to be able to see at least the big toe. Shoulders are stacking right above the hips. Press into the outer edge of that right or left foot. Bend into that front knee and lift the heart here. Good. And then from here, stretch your right arm up, bend the elbow so that the hand rests at the back of the heart. Take the left hand, set it on the elbow, and then lift the elbow up and wrap the tricep in and walk the fingertips down the back. Let the back of the head rest into the forearm and let the forearm rest into the back of the head so the chin's parallel to the floor. Rebend into that knee, inhale here. And you might stay right here, or if full archer is available and you can grab your fingertips, do that. But if not, no big deal. Take a breath here. And then from here, keep the bend in that knee, but lift that right arm up and back. Bend into that front knee, and if you're holding the elbow, same thing. You're just right here. Big opening into the right ribs. Good, and then inhale, come up. Unwind the arms, stretch them out long. Take that right arm, reach it forward, and then set the forearm to the thigh. Take the left arm, reach it up and over the ear. Inhale, stretch it from the outer edge of the foot out the fingertips. And then exhale, spin your heart open. And then take this left hand, bend at the elbow and cradle the base of the skull. And then inhale, spin the heart open, and exhale, let the weight of the head drop back into your hands. Press into that left foot, open into that right knee, and open that whole left side. Good, and then release that cradle, extend the arm. Start to spin your gaze down for half moon. If you know it, you can float into it. Otherwise, set the hands down, come to the toes of the back foot. Take an inhale, lift that left leg and flex it to start with. Right hand's gonna stay on the floor. Left hand can stay there too for now. Roll the hip open. So kind of the same thing we did in our down dog, but now we're in a more of a forward fold-ish. Then maybe your left hand comes up to your hip. Watch that standing leg so it's not locking out. And then maybe your heart spins open and your shoulders stack. Maybe the arm stretches up to the sky. Take that left hand, spin it back to the floor. Spin your left hip to square to the floor. Soften your front leg and send that left foot back into a pyramid. So about hip distance left to right, about 3 to 4 feet front to back, and then inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Okay. From here, you're gonna bend into that front knee. You're going to be kind of in a short lunge here, which is what we're going for. And then my back's going to be to you. You're going to walk your hands forward. Left hand's going to land to the floor. Then you're going to spin both feet to the right so that the right toes face to the long side of the mat and you're on the outer edge of your left foot. Now your left hand is down supporting you. And then float your right arm up. So you have your feet here to lift your hips. And then on the exhale, let that left hip sink. Let your arm reach towards your back foot. Kind of hammock your side body here. And then we're going to go back up. Inhale, stretch the arm up, reach the hips up, stretch the arm up and over the ear. And then one more time, exhale, sink the hips, reach back. And then one more time, inhale, press into the feet, reach into the arm, reach up and over the head. And then as you exhale, let that hand spin all the way to the earth as you spin the toes. Come onto the toes of the back foot, send your right leg back and up, inhale. And then if you want a three-legged vinyasa, this is a nice place for it. Otherwise, set the foot down, come into high plank. Set the knees down to lower down, or keep the knees up and lower down, everyone to the belly. From here, extend the legs, interlace the hands opposite as last time. And on the inhale, heart forward and up. Exhale, arms back and up, legs back and up. Everything extending and lifting. And then exhale, release the hands to the earth, set them under the shoulders. Take an inhale, exhale, make your way back to down dog. Okay. From down dog, inhale, take the left leg back and up. Exhale, curl the knee into the chest, the thigh into the ribs, and then the forehead into the knee and the navel up to the spine. Inhale, look between your thumbs, set your foot there. Spin the right heel down and inhale. Come up, warrior two. Adjust your feet. Knee over the ankle, traction over the second and third toes. Press into the outer edge of your back foot. Lift the heart all the way from the pelvic floor up. And then take that left arm, stretch it up and bend at the elbow. Right hand's gonna come onto that elbow. Lift the elbow up, wrap the triceps in and walk your fingertips back, down your back. Take the head so that the chin's parallel to the floor. Stay here or full archer, interlacing the hands behind the back, right at the back of the heart. Inhale, stretch up, keep a bend in that knee, and then take that left elbow up and back. And again, same thing can be done holding the elbow. And then spin the ribs open a little bit. Keep spinning the knee open and breathing here. And then reach through that left elbow, come back up. Unwind the arms, stretch long, inhale. And then keep reaching forward through that left arm, set the elbow to the thigh, take the right arm up and over. Press into the left foot, reach it through the left fingertips. Inhale here and then exhale, spin the ribs open. Now bend at the elbow, cradle the base of the skull right in that right hand. You can inhale, lift your heart, and as you exhale, let the weight of the head Drop into the palm of your hand, cradling your skull. Breathing, pressing into the right foot to open up that whole right side. And then gently bring the head to neutral, extend the arms, inhale, and as you exhale, spin the hands down as you spin to the toes of the back foot, getting ready for your half moon. Inhale, rise up, flexing that lifted leg, engaging your standing leg, lifting out of the hip. Left hand stays to the floor, spin your right hip on top of your left, maybe your right hand on your right hip, maybe your right arm to the sky. Breathe. Press out through the heels, stretch out through the arms. And then on the exhale, spin that right hand down, spin the right hip down. Start to bend your standing leg and reach back, setting up for that pyramid. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Exhale, draw that outer left hip back, the kneecaps back, and the heart forward. Good. And then from here, bend into that front knee so you're in the short lunge. Take the right hand kind of at a bit of a diagonal and spin your feet to the left so your toes are facing the long side of the mat and you're on the outer edge of that right foot. And then inhale, stretch the left arm up. And on the exhale, start to sink the hips and let your hand reach the back foot. And then you'll know here, when you come up, you need to adjust. If your hand's too close, your right hand's too close to the hip, you can adjust that. And then inhale, stretch up, press into your arms. So if it is, then just inch that right foot away from you. Stretch up, lift the hips up, press into the feet. One more time, exhale, sink in. Good, and then inhale, press up, reach up, stretch up and over the ears. You press your hip up. Good, and then stretch the arm up, inhaling. Exhale, hand down, spin the feet around. Take that left leg back and up, three-legged dog. If you did three-legged vinyasa on the other side, feel free to do it here. Inhaling forward and exhaling to the belly. Uncurl the toes. From here, take any belly down back bend that sounds good. Maybe it's a cobra, maybe it's a sphinx, maybe it's the hands interlaced, maybe it's the arms lifted. Do what feels good. Take about 3 breaths. And then we're going to exhale and make a pillow with the hands and rest your head. And let the hips just gently rock side to side. And then hands under the shoulders, inhale, exhale, make your way to down dog. On the inhale, look to your hands, and at the bottom of the exhale, step walk or float the feet to the outside of the hands. Let both toes spin out a little bit, so that diagonal, and sink the hips and come into a wide squat. Elbows to the inner thighs, thumbs to the heart. Lift your heart, lift your crown. Sit tall, let the hips heavy. Good, and then from here, help yourself to sit. Extend the legs, extend the arms, inhale, and on the exhale, roll yourself down. Take an inhale, stretch the arms up overhead, reclined mountain pose. And then on the exhale, bend the knees and set the feet down. Pick up the hips and send them over to the left so you land a bit on that right. Slide the arms out into a T, and then exhale, knees up to the chest and over towards that right elbow. Take an inhale and slide your ribs over to the right and then send the back of the left shoulder down. And exhale, maybe you extend one or both legs and you can hold on to the outer calf to send that hip away from you. Create that support. And then come back into that deep breath, in and out. If the legs are extended, bend them. Inhale, come back through center, set the feet down. Pick up the hips, move them over to the right so you land on the left. Exhale, pick up the knees and drop them over to the left. Press into that left elbow and the head is spin your ribs to the left so your right rib can heavy and your right shoulder can heavy. Inhale across the heart here, and then exhale, maybe straighten one or both legs. Send your right hip away from your chest. Deep breaths. And so we're running a little bit long. I'm going to let you guys I'll close and then I'll end the meeting. You guys, please feel free to stay in Shavasana. Go ahead and bend the knees. Inhale and unwind. Bring the hips back into neutral. Exhale, bring the knees into the shoulders. Stay here, or if you want to take a full happy baby, go for it. Or just keep it kind of gentle and let your back rock side to side, the knees rock side to side. And then we're going to land in Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together, knees open wide, hands rest on the inner thighs for a moment, just letting the knees soften to the earth. And then slide the hands up so one hand lands on the belly and one hand lands on the heart, and let the eyes close. I'm going to take a big inhale through the nose. Start to fill yourself up. Keep going, fill up all the way, soften the throat, soften the face, fill up a little bit more. And on the exhale, let it all out the mouth, like this big release. And keep the hands where they are and take a moment to just feel that connection with your center, your heart of hearts. Your belly, that center of self-esteem, your heart, that place of love, that place of humanity, connecting with that within yourself. From there, send yourself love, compassion, and send that out into the world. Take one more big, deep inhale through the nose. This time on the exhale, let the legs extend and the arms extend and come into your final resting pose, Shavasana. We'll take one more cleansing breath right here. Inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, let it all go. Let all the effort go. Let all the work go. Let all the thoughts go. And let your body just soften into the earth. The whole body be held and supported. And rest, Shavasana. Morning poem by Mary Oliver. Every morning the world is created. Under the orange sticks of the sun, the heaped ashes of the night turn into leaves again and fasten themselves to the high branches, and the ponds appear like black cloth on which are painted islands of summer lilies. If it is your nature to be happy, you will swim away along the soft trails for hours, your imagination alighting everywhere. And if your spirit carries within it the thorn that is heavier than lead, if it's all you can do to keep on trudging, there is still somewhere deep within you a beast shouting that the earth is exactly what it wanted. Each pond with its blazing lilies is a prayer heard and answered lavishly every morning, whether or not you have ever dared to be happy, whether or not you have ever dared to pray. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be awakened to the light of our true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing and kindness for all beings. Have a wonderful rest of your Shavasana. Thanks so much for being here. Namaste. And just an FYI, there will not be class on Thursday. I will send out an email, but since you're on here, I will let you know that. Have a great day.